Watch what happens when I measure this penny on 4 different balances. The first one measures to the nearest thousandth of a gram. The second balance measures to the nearest hundredth of a gram. The third balance measures to the nearest tenth of a gram. And the last balance only measures to the nearest gram. On the first balance, we get a measurement of 2.486 grams. On the next balance, we get a measurement of 2.49 grams. Notice that we've lost a little bit of detail here. This balance only displays 2.5 grams because it can only measure to the nearest tenth of a gram. The last balance, it measures at 2 grams, the least detail of all. Okay, now we're going to calculate the density of the penny using its volume of 0.349 milliliters. However, when we do the calculation, we're going to use the mass that we found on each of the different balances. On the first balance, we measured a mass of 2 grams. If we divide this by 0.349 milliliters, we get 5.730659 and so on grams per milliliter. But it's not fair to record our answer to this many digits. I mean, we only measured 1 digit for mass, so it doesn't make any sense to record a bunch of digits. Let's round the answer to 6 grams per milliliter. This way, we convey that our measurement was only good to 1 digit. On the second balance, we measured the mass to be 2.5 grams. Dividing this mass by 0.349 milliliters gives a density of a bit more than 7.16 grams per milliliter. But because our mass measurement has only 2 digits, we're going to need to round our density to only 2 digits, 7.2 grams per milliliter. The mass on the third balance was 2.49 grams. At this point, you should realize that, after running the calculation, the density should be reported to 3 digits. That is 7.13 grams per milliliter. Okay, time for a challenge. Careful, it's tricky. Calculate the density of the penny to the appropriate number of digits using the data collected on the last balance. In this case, the measurement had 4 digits, 2.486 grams. However, the tricky part here is that the volume was only given to 3 digits, 0.349 milliliters. So because our volume only has 3 digits, the result of the density calculation should also be rounded to 3 digits. And the density is recorded as 7.12 grams per milliliter.